If we fell out, who gon' be there, who gon' ride for you? If I fall off, would you still be my dog? I knew it's all conditional, I'm knowing you don't know me. Forgot my wishes, shit, I'm chillin', I'm lonely. If we fell out, who gon' be there, who gon' ride for you? If I fall off, would you still be my dog? I knew.
No. True horror story about the tent in the forest. Wow.
I grew up in Bradford, Pennsylvania.
Right.
Have any of you ever heard of Zippo lighters?
Nope.
They're from here.
Okay.
A thick forest surrounds the town, along with most of the neighborhoods. My family lives sort of on the outskirts of...
He literally just said some cluckness. So if y'all didn't catch it, what he said was that basically like the little neighborhood that they live in is surrounded by a forest. It's surrounded by a forest. A forest. You know how deep a forest, like, you know how dense and deep a forest is? A forest. Really? Really? So God only knows what's lurking in that forest.
Bradford. Of course, much like the town itself, our house was also surrounded by forest.
Wow.
If you took in the scene from our back porch, you would see nothing but sprawling trees for miles.
Oh my God.
I tell you this so you can gain a sense of isolation. Out at my house, you could scream at the top of your lungs, and no one would come to help you.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Why?
This happened back in the summer of 1996. I was 11 years old at the time. I had a childhood friend named Marty, who was the same age. Our fathers worked together and knew each other well. He would come over almost every Friday to hang out.
Right.
Marty and I found ourselves hiking through the trees as we often did. However, we were feeling a bit daring and went further into the forest than we usually did. There was this barrier of trees that we would never go past, simply because I didn't know the area beyond that point. We continued past the barrier into uncharted territory.
Man.
We eventually came upon a clearing. In the middle of this clearing was an old, disheveled-looking tent. Being the curious young men we were, we of course had to see inside. As we approached, I could feel the temperature around me drop. I'm no stranger to the cold, but this was in the middle of summer. Even at my age, I could sense that there was something truly sinister inside this tent.
Okay, so you really feel like that, and you really feel all this cluckness energy, this cluck energy around you, on you, right? And it's like you sense the red flags, you sense the sus flag, you sense every negative thing, right? Why would you still go closer to the tent? It's only one reason, and one reason only, because you about that cluck life. That's all I want. Oh God, I've been wanting to do that for a little minute now, because I can't really take out the AirPods while I'm watching the video, because if I take it out, it's going to pause the video. I don't got time for that. But, wow. Yo. Water and Minute Maid lemonade is probably like the only drinks that I drink. I haven't had soda in literally years. The last time I had soda, my body was so used to water that when I had soda, my body like rejected it. I haven't had soda in so long. And it's like, this is how I feel about soda. Like, I mean, I had soda like when I was a kid and a teenager and stuff, but like nowadays, I almost never drink soda. No. But one of the reasons that I don't really like drinking soda, and it's also one of the main reasons why I don't drink alcohol or beer or anything like that, is because if it burns on the way down, it cannot be good for you. Just saying. Let's get it. Let's Go back to it.
A part of me was screaming to hightail it out of there, but my own curiosity pushed me forward. We both stopped just outside the tent.
Wow.
And suddenly, we were both too frightened to move any further. We were both frozen in place, staring at the open flap of the tent as it swayed from side to side. The sky seemed to grow even darker since we discovered this tent, and though we were standing directly in front of it, we could not see inside. What happened next is the reason that I still struggle with alcoholism. A dark hand slowly emerged from the tent's opening. It reached out to us, with long black nails protruding out from its fingertips. I'm not ashamed to admit that I pissed myself out of fear. The hand slowly turned and made a beckoning gesture with its index finger. And that's when Marty and I heard a deep, bellowing laughter from inside the tent. I don't remember much about what happened after that. I just remember me and Marty running for our lives, tearing through the woods and back to my house. I do have a vague memory of me briefly looking behind me as I ran to see a tall, dark, and human figure standing just outside the tent.
Shit!
Upon returning, Marty immediately called his mom to come pick him up. My mother asked us what was wrong, and we both explained to her that we saw some kind of creature in the forest. My mother ultimately dismissed our claims, but led us in a prayer while we waited for Marty's mom to arrive. Marty never came back after that, and we sort of drifted apart.
I would.
Sadly, Marty began hanging out with the wrong crowd and began doing hardcore drugs when he was around 14. He ended up hanging himself in his bedroom when he was 17.
Damn.
As for myself, I suffered from severe night terrors that tormented me for years after that day in the woods. I'm not going to get into what I experienced in my nightmares, but I will say that I became an alcoholic as a result. After moving far away and attending numerous AA meetings, I'm glad to say that I've turned my life around, and I even have a family of my own. I still visit Bradford every now and again to check in on my aging parents. Whenever I'm there, I always set flowers on Marty's grave. I'm still convinced that what we saw that day in the woods contributed to his death. Now that I have some perspective, I think what Marty and I encountered was a demonic presence. It followed us home and proceeded to turn both of our lives upside down. There were rumors of people worshipping Satan out there in those woods around the mid to late 90s. Perhaps they awakened something, and Marty and I just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Again, you probably had, anything and everything not Adidas, because if you had on Adidas, you would have never been you would have never been there at the wrong place at the wrong time. You would have been somewhere else at the best time at the best place. Just saying. Adidas life, Adidas game. Where you have yours. Just saying. But that was in y'all, see what I'm saying? Like, that was in y'all neighborhood, where the forest is. I knew something was lurking in that forest. It's a forest. Deep as hell. You literally said, when you go out to your backyard, it's just forest out for miles. Not a couple of feet, not a couple of yards. Miles. That's ridiculous. Like that's a lot. That's a lot. Like miles of forest? Like, come on, bruh. Come on. Damn. Like, y'all don't know what's in there. Y'all don't know what's in that forest. And y'all live in a little junk. Y'all live like in a neighborhood. So there's forest around the neighborhood. There's not a forest just like, just in one part of the neighborhood. No, it's everywhere in the neighborhood. Nobody is safe. Nobody. So either everybody in the neighborhood, everybody in the neighborhood either packs up and moves somewhere else that's like completely open and, you know, with people and shit and civilization, and let nature take its course and let the forest just build and keep growing over that neighborhood, or y'all tear down the forest and keep it down so y'all know what's out there, because obviously y'all didn't know. And who else, you know what I mean? Everybody, I don't know how to say it. Like, I mean, y'all came across a demon, a demonic creature, right? But that was just one like hot thing that happened. Excuse me. Who else knows what else is out there? Wait, I said that backwards. Who knows what else is out there? Yeah, there we go. I couldn't say it. Who else knows? Wait, no. Wait, yeah. Who else knows Who knows what else is out? Yeah, there we go. Who knows? No, bring it back. Who knows? Nope. I can't talk. Who knows what else is out there in that forest? So either everybody in that neighborhood move right 6 miles out and let the forest take its natural course. The hell was that? Or y'all just cut down that forest so y'all can know what's popping. Y'all got two options. Keep it cool, keep it classy, and I love you. Stay happy, my family.